everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is episode 16 of Authentic Conversations with Entrepreneurs, and I'm here with Melissa Unsell-Smith. She is a data protection expert and three-time founder. So her current companies are Rectify and Catalytic Icon. We're going to hear much more about those in a minute, but I do want to explain, as I do with each episode, what is an authentic conversation? What are we here to do? So I describe authenticity as the good and growing that lives within all of us. And what the bold guests on our show decide to do and choose to do is share that journey. So what is that authentic story from what has been growing and what are the hurdles you've overcome to get to the good? These are the stories we live out every day in our businesses and in the entrepreneurial journey. So thank you so much for being here, Melissa, and being willing and courageous to share your story. You can say hello, and then I just want to put up our topic today, which is pursue passion. So what does that mean to you? And again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Katherine. I'm so excited to be here. And pursuing passion for me is really leaning into purpose, meaning, alignment for you. And I'm so excited to dive into this topic today because I've definitely had kind of series of ebbs and flows with my own personal passion.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we want to dive into the ebbs and flows. So, I mean, three-time founder, I am sure it's somewhere in there. I mean, has every business been a passion business, or where did this come to you? And what moment did you really connect with, okay, it is about passion in business?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. I think when I reflect back on my journey of entrepreneurship, I have owned 3 businesses. And when I really take a moment to reflect and look back, I can honestly say, like, my very first foray into entrepreneurship was right out of college. And so I was very young. And in my younger years and leading up to college, you know, I had so much finesse and so much I don't know, I was just like flamboyant, out there, passionate about lots of things, mainly hobbies and things that I had gotten into at a young age. And then I had this door of entrepreneurship open right out of college, and I decided to go for it and take it. But it took me a lot of thinking about it, and I decided to walk through that door. Current day, like looking back on that, I wasn't truly passionate about the industry that business was in and the clients we were serving. I was really, really talented and really, really good at what we were offering and doing and the products and services we were offering. But my current day self looking back, I can honestly say, like, true passion wasn't necessarily there. But I think what was in replace of that was this true talent and perhaps inspiration and opportunity that I was leaning into at that moment in my life.
Yeah. Okay. So down the path, you start Rectify.
Yes.
And when did business 3 come and why?
So Rectify came out of another opportunity that myself and my co-founders had. And with this, I had a lot more passion and alignment. It was in an industry, data privacy software that I was really passionate about and had a lot of knowledge and expertise, and just felt like a sense of purpose and meaning for myself. And so leaning into that, but that was layered with struggles, challenges, as any business is, right? A very interesting opportunity. But that one, yes, had a little more passion, structure, meaning, purpose layered into it.
Okay. And the latest venture, tell us
latest
more about
venture, which is Catalytic Icon, is really something that stemmed out of me investing time, really reflecting on leaning into meaning, purpose, and passion, even more so, like in a 4th dimension beyond 3-dimensional. And
what prompted that?
Over the course of, the challenging years that we've all experienced, I kind of hit the pause button and reflected
Are
on
you
my
talking about
entire life.
the big C, COVID? Is that what you're talking
Yes,
about?
I know, the
Those
pandemic.
challenging years.
Those challenging years of the
So right around the
pandemic.
great pivot and pause. Okay.
Exactly. The great pivot and pause. And I definitely took a moment in time to reflect and be very introspective and really thinking even more about what am I put here on this earth to do? Who am I to really serve? What is my
Goosebumps as you
legacy
said that.
going
Yeah.
to be? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Katherine, I know you have kiddos. I'm married. I don't have kids. I need my legacy to look like something other than procreating, right? And so I think about that a lot. It's like, what am I going to leave on this earth? And so at this moment in time, I am really leaning into, Catalytic Icon is serving other entrepreneurs, making sure that we can accelerate the pace at which they reach success and kind of having this camaraderie and fellowship that is sometimes missing. And just like you, I know we're aligned on this, having authentic conversations about building a business and not putting on a
being here,
facade
right?
that everything's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And I love how you said accelerate the pace to reach success. So how does that acceleration align, or how does that live with passion? Like, are the two on equal footing, or?
I think that lives with something that's innately in me. I'm an efficiency and automation expert. So I am all about how can we reach this milestone the quickest and how can I help entrepreneurs do that? So that's kind of my own personality profile layered with my talents that's kind of layered into that passion of let's do this as quick as possible and as authentically as possible.
So I want to follow that thread because I love what you're building with Catalytic Icon. And I want even more so for everyone to understand, like, what is the vision? So let me just ask this statement, like, if more businesses can accelerate the pace to success, what will happen then? What do you see being different?
Oh, I love just having the opportunity to allow people to reach that level of success, whatever that means for them, by the way, in revenue, profitability. I see that as creating a very cohesified, amazing, prolific economic profile, an economic society for everyone to participate in. That also means that the more profitable you are, the more money you make, the more you can actually lean into expressing your true self and putting boundaries around your time and around your values. And so I see the vision of that just as entrepreneurs having the opportunity to lean into living life to the fullest outside of this kind of hustle culture, burnout culture that we're seeing so much of. I mean, that is what I want for the world. That's also what I want for myself. And so because I desire that for myself, I want to help steward not only myself on that path, but others as well.
Yeah. Well, beautiful. Definitely. I mean, I love that thank you for taking us on the journey through the businesses. And it sounds like as you're like pursuing, I mean, who knows, maybe there's another business, but for right now, as you're pursuing this path, you're deepening that connection to your passion and your skills co-aligned, right? Like they can happen together, which is beautiful. So, and connecting with this like truth in you, like pursue passion, and it can be aligned with what I'm doing in business. How is this igniting within, like, take us to like, what is Catalytic Icon? How do you do what you're doing? In creating, right?
Yeah, I'm happy to share. So with Catalytic Icon, I love just creating a container for people to have authentic, vulnerable conversations, not only about business life, but about personal life and community life. And I think that's so important. And so whatever that container looks like right now, that is hosting virtual conversations in a virtual format. In the future, I would love to host those in real life experience, and just opening up the space for people to really interact with peers. I'm often surprised at how many entrepreneurs don't really plug into communities or connect with peers. Sometimes we just work in a silo. I think as entrepreneurs, we are automatically have this like self-reliance, knowing that we can accomplish and conquer everything. But it's so important to kind of step out of that self-reliance and plug into a community of peers again, so you can expose your blind spots, so you can learn from others' mistakes and mitigate those for yourself. And that's the way we accelerate the pace of success so much quicker. And also having something to aspire to. And I like layering in my communities with entrepreneurs that are aspirational and they can give back by sharing their journey. And then having entrepreneurs too that are on the beginning stage of their journey, for them to kind of lean into creating that for themselves. And I think that's a beautiful ecosystem to have, and it's really hard to find.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely beautiful what you're creating. And I know that we've already talked about more opportunities for us, because I am right with you, sister. Like, I love obviously this show and creating authentic conversations. So beautiful vision. I love what you're pursuing and building. So, you know, is passion, so you've had several of these shows, right, and episodes of your own. Is passion a topic that has come up? And if so, how within, you know, your shows and your connections?
Yeah, I think it does come up without the word being proliferated so much. But I think that you can definitely sense when people talk about in our conversations their businesses, this true connection to it and this drive to make it happen. And it's not only with the services and the products that these entrepreneurs are offering, it is the impact and the ripples that makes. And you can just see people light up when they talk about it. And I think I'm always inspired by that, because I have been in situations in many years ago in the past when I was kind of on this execution mode of executing my first business without that passion totally layered in. And if I look back, I can really notice how I portrayed myself and how I talked about the business. It was kind of stoic with not a lot of emotion there. And you can feel that and sense that from people. And so when I host shows for Catalytic Icon and we dive into these conversations, I think that's so illuminating, just to see the innate drive, connection to what people are doing. And beyond that, like the ripples they're creating in the world. And I think that's really special. And that's like one of the best things about entrepreneurship, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love, like, even I can feel it as you're speaking about it. So I'm sure others can too, but it's, and I know, you know, some people will hear this just on audio, some will actually see this podcast, but like, I love how when you talked about passion, you did like a wave in your hair. Like, it was like, as if you were like, as if it's, like this energy and this softness. And it's just, I saw passion, like it's how you see it. And it's beautiful.
I love it.
So like just an interesting observation I made there. So
talking with my hands, everybody.
It's beautiful. And I think I just want to say too, like, in reflecting on, you know, the journey, and certainly I think that was part of like your growing to the good, right? The growing was, you know, through the stoic or through the, you know, just connecting with your skills. Like, I feel that, you know, a lot of times when you're younger, as you described, like it wasn't that you had no passion. It's just that that passion often lives outside of work. And, but what I think is beautiful in the journey you've taken, and I feel is true for so many people, if you're willing to pursue it, is that you, as you know, the more years you live, the more, you know, business you're in, like you really realize that they can align, that they can coexist, right?
I think
I love it.
more so than ever, we're in a human landscape where people are realizing there can be complete alignment of passion, purpose, meaning with what you do for entrepreneurship. And I just said that word, and I feel like it's important for me to share. Like, my word of 2023 is alignment. It's like, what are those pieces that align to what, is meaningful to me? And so, of course, I lived that opportunity where, yes, you're exactly right. My passion lied outside of my work, but that work was still amazing. Great experiences, great challenges, great successes. And I also, it's really interesting because I had an opportunity to speak on a panel a few weeks ago. And when I was preparing for that, I really wanted to just take the lens backwards on owning my different businesses. And there was also a moment in time, because these businesses that I've owned are technology, they're software. So women in tech, right? There was a good chunk of my years that I leveraged so much of my energy to be something that I really wasn't. And I don't say I wasn't always showing up as myself, but I mimicked my behavior to others. For example, male counterparts or other tech entrepreneurs that were so much further along than I was. And I found myself kind of shifting to this masculine energy, kind of being something that I truly wasn't.
Yeah.
And trying to be something that I thought I needed to be for others, and the way I needed to look for others running these type of businesses. And it does take that moment of just thinking about that and reflecting about that. And I don't regret doing that. I think we've all done that in some capacity or other. But now I'm just in that moment where I'm leaning into a more feminine approach to business. And it's really beautiful and delightful to kind of go down this path now.
That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I think there is. Thank you for also talking about like kind of the masculine and feminine energy. And I feel that way too. And I want to thank Donna for sharing. She said, Donna was a guest a couple months ago. And so Donna said that she agrees that we're in a time where people want to do more meaningful work and have meaningful relationships. So I feel that, thank you for sharing, Donna. And I'm sure you agree. That's everything you can't align with passion without having that feel personal and having that be purposeful. So I love that all of it has been aligning for you. And excuse me, I want to say, so for the viewers, for the people that are tuned in, if they are feeling this kind of disconnection, if you will, this, with self and business, or self and purpose and passion, I feel like it's kind of like this, like undercurrent, if you will, for change and growth, but wanting it to be meaningful. What would you say to them? What advice? Maybe they haven't reached their powerful pause yet that you got in COVID, but maybe this is their time.
I love the opportunity for a powerful pause. And that would be really my advice to the audience, because I have personally experienced how beneficial that can be. I know that I really hit the pause button because I wanted to open my own aperture of awareness. And since 2018, I have been going on what I call my personal CEO retreats. And at first I was doing this like two nights, 3 days, once a year. And I would just go to a cabin in the hills and have complete solitude, no digital devices, no human interaction, complete solitude and serenity, maybe listen to music, but not really. And you would be amazed at how apprehensive you feel doing that, by the way, like driving up and going, I have to spend how many days by myself with myself? Like, it's really scary. But taking the time to do that is so inspirational and meaningful. And now, current day, I do my CEO retreats twice a year, 5 nights, 6 days. And
Wow.
you would be amazed at the clarity, the awareness, and just the increased consciousness you can get for not only your business, but your personal life and your community life. And
Yeah.
that for me has been a blessing to be able to do that. But I think if anyone can take a moment for powerful pause, whether it's spending a whole day locked in a room in your house with no disruptions, that can be very meaningful, just to kind of think about
Yeah.
what you want, what you're passionate about, and what's meaningful to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I know everyone's probably like, oh my gosh, give me some of that. So, yeah, I know you have something that will guide people through that. So I'm going to share that on the screen here and you can speak to it, but what can they expect in this CEO retreat ebook that you put together? Is it like, where do you go or how do you do it? Just share a little
Yeah,
bit.
so I've had so many people ask me about my retreat. So I've created an ebook, and please check it out and download it.
I will
Basically,
be.
it gives you all of the things that I've done on my previous retreats. So it kind of gives you some prompts to think about, to journal.
Love
It
it.
tells you what to bring. I even share my own. I log everything I do on my retreats, so it gives you my personal log. So it's kind of a guidepost. Everyone's retreat's going to be different, but at least you can kind of see what I've done and create something meaningful around what you want to do for yourself.
I absolutely love this. I think it's brilliant and I'm so excited to download it myself. And I obviously want to share, I know everyone's obviously enjoying you because I know I am. And you have this light that just shines. And I appreciate you sharing it here on the show. And so they can find you at catalyticicon.com, correct?
Yes, they
And
can.
you're active. I know we connected through LinkedIn. So I know you're super active there, as well as Instagram at Catalytic Icon. So any last pieces of advice that you want to offer or last words? Otherwise, I think we'll wrap up and I guess I'll share next month's episode. But have you had a lot of settings where you've talked about passion? Like, how has this felt for you to unfold this topic and to speak about your journey in this way?
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. And I thank you for bringing up this topic because sometimes we dismiss it. And so I do want to say, I think passion changes as we grow, flourish, and
Yeah.
prosper in our lives. And that's okay for it to change as we grow and flourish. And you just have to honor where you're at and honor where you want to go. That's what it's all about.
Amen. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for speaking to that. And my word for the year is evolve. So it's all about the progression and
Yeah.
honoring where you're at. So beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey, this message. It's so powerful. It is our powerful pause for those who tuned in and for us, right? And, I think it does take courage to share the journey, the bumps, the bruises, and the growth. So thank you for doing that vulnerably and authentically. And yes, our next episode, I hope you all will tune in. It'll be next month on May 18th at 1:30 Eastern time with Sebastian Cruz. And he's a very exciting person as well. And we're going to be talking about dive in the depths. So that should be a wonderful conversation as well. And thank you so much. I hope you all will connect with Melissa. I certainly have loved connecting with her. And yeah, she's a wonderful person to dive into as well. So
Thank you, Katherine.
yeah, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Okay, bye, y'all.